All right, welcome to Sunday's show. I'm Spartacris with the Generational Gaming and Entertainment Network. On Sundays, I like to just kind of give out a bunch of updates and kind of keep everyone on track. And for anyone who can't kind of keep up throughout the week, I have notifications going off constantly from various websites and apps. So I have a list of things here. It wasn't a huge week in updates, so unfortunately it won't be a very long show, which is fine. But I'll just kind of throw some things out there for anyone who maybe wasn't paying attention. And the first thing that kind of stood out this week, which isn't, I don't think, a huge announcement. I thought it was pretty funny actually though. Avatar, I guess, did not like that they were no longer the number one grossing movie of all time. They lost to Avengers Endgame when that came out. Now, Avengers Endgame needed to re-release the movie once just to get that title, and I guess Avatar liked that idea, James Cameron liked that idea, so he did the same thing and re-released it in China this past week to take back the number one spot. So yesterday I saw it was official. They were the number one highest grossing movie of all time again. I'm sure part of it has to do with maybe we'll get an Avatar 2 teaser or a better announcement, a better release date. I don't know what's going on with that. It's been in the works for a very long time at this point, and I guess James Cameron just didn't like not being the best. So shout out to James Cameron and the team behind Avatar for grossing the most money ever of any movie that's been released. I know Titanic is in the top few spots also, so I guess he just wants to own the whole thing. I mean, good for him if that's what he wants. But that was one of the major announcements technically this week. Another one, which was almost, I thought, a surprise hit announcement, was South Park came out with a vaccination special. So the last episode of South Park that came out, the last new episode, was a pandemic special, and like it had to do a lot to do with everyone going on quarantine and the election and all that kind of stuff. So now they came out with one that's supposed to be strictly about the vaccination. I haven't watched it yet. I will watch it. I'll talk about it more on Tuesday. I feel like Matt Stone and Trey Parker are kind of over the show. They've been doing it for a very long time, and I'm sure they're tired of it and they want to do some other stuff. I don't know if South Park will continue to just be released in these specials. This one in particular is on HBO Max, and I'm sure it'll come on Comedy Central at some point. But the last few seasons, from what I understand, haven't been that great. I kind of got bored of South Park and haven't been watching it for a long time. I do still think it's funny, but there were other things that I felt were more interesting and called out to me a little bit more. So I will watch this special, though, because I'm curious to see what Matt Stone and Trey Parker, with their opinion or their take on the vaccinations and everything else going on. I think the episode has to do with, I think it's Qanon or however you pronounce it, conspiracies. So it'll be a pretty funny parody or spinoff, or really just a brutal takedown of all that kind of crap. But that's on HBO Max for anyone who's interested. The other thing, and this is going to be my first comment in YouTube territory, for any Batman fans out there, a group on YouTube called Bat in the Sun has been working on their own fan-made Batman movie for a while now, and it finally came out. It's about a half hour long. I haven't watched it yet. Again, I will watch it today at some point. I'll talk about it in more detail on Tuesday. But a lot of times, these fan-made movies, especially when this much effort has been put into it, are way better than a lot of the stuff we get in the theaters because it's from the fans, not from some Hollywood executive who doesn't really know the material. It is worth watching. I suggest everyone, I will include the link on the YouTube post when I post the recap. Take a look up Bat in the Sun, Dying is Easy. You could find it on YouTube everywhere, I'm sure. It won't be hard to come across. That is probably going to be a phenomenal Batman story. I know the Joker is a big part of it. Any Batman fan, really, you should be looking into this and checking it out, and really support the channel. If you don't want to subscribe, at least give them a like. But it's worth checking out what they do. I'm sure they came out with something really nice and really fun. And sticking with the DC side of things, for anyone who doesn't know, there's a new Superman show, Superman and Lois it's called, on the CW. I have said before, I'm not a giant fan of Superman. However, CW has actually done pretty good with a lot of their characters, and the few episodes of Supergirl I watched were decent. My biggest issue with Superman and Supergirl is I feel like their powers are just kind of boring, and they're a little too strong. I don't know how the show is going to tackle that and make me almost worry about Superman. From what I understand, the show focuses a lot on his family, which is, one way to kind of not weaken a character like Superman, but one way to ground him and make him a little bit more relatable. I do know the CW has done pretty well with special effects with some of their other shows like The Flash and stuff. I can only imagine it's going to be just as good or even better as time goes on with the Superman show. I've heard a lot of good things about it, so I think I'm going to go ahead and start watching it, give my opinion, see if it can capture my attention and keep me for a whole season. I know the schedules for all these things have been so weird because shows have been canceled during the pandemic or postponed. But Superman is kind of the first new property that the CW is introducing. For anyone who doesn't know, if you've watched Crisis on Infinite Earths, the Superman and Lois from that miniseries essentially is the main character of this show. So if you like their portrayals, then you kind of will start off on a good foot here. At the same time, as Superman's out, The Flash apparently started season 7. Again, it's a little weird because they were postponed or had to stop season 6 in the middle of it, and they used an episode from season 6 to start season 7, but I've heard that the season has already begun on a much better note than it kind of ended off on. And full disclosure, I was a giant fan of The Flash. I feel like The Flash was one of the best superhero shows on TV for maybe the first 3 seasons, and then it just started to kind of, I don't know, I feel like they started to run out of good ideas, and once they started to change things to try and adjust and not just tell us the same stories over and over again, they started to lose track of what made the characters and the show itself so fun. Season 6, from what I understand, has been more of a return to form. Season 7 started off on a good foot also, so I will probably start jumping back into that. I was a big fan of the show before, so let me give it a shot, especially after Arrow stopped airing and ended. I'm looking for my DC fix on TV again. And sticking with DC, these are the next two are the two biggest really things to look forward to for this week. First is the Snyder Cut. That comes out on the 17th. So I believe that's Tuesday. It's a 4-hour movie on HBO Max. So we might have to watch it in a couple of parts. But I've been avoiding, there's been a lot of teasers and trailers, new footage and images being released. I've been trying to avoid it. I watched the trailer when it came out way back when. I think there were 2 trailers. I saw both of those, but I'm not trying to ruin so much for myself. I feel like for 4 hours, they're going to have a ton of footage that wasn't in the theatrical release, and I want to kind of see it fresh. I don't want any of this stuff to ruin it for me. There's definitely a habit with Hollywood and all these different production studios to release too much info before the movies come out, and it kind of ruins a lot of the surprise. So I'm trying to avoid any of the announcements. I know Zack Snyder's been tweeting a lot and kind of giving the fans what he thinks are hints of what's coming, but a lot of times the hints are too obvious and it kind of ruins the impact of what we see in the movie. From what I understand, there's going to be a bunch of villains in there that were not in theatrical release. I'm a little, again, I've said before, I'm a little iffy as to what's going to be in the movie, because for 4 hours, I feel like they're going to cram a lot. And it seems like they're trying to just kind of give Joss Whedon the finger and put anything that he didn't like into the movie. Who knows if that's going to equal a better movie or a better narrative, but, we'll see. It comes out Tuesday. It's 4 hours, and I will at least watch some of it on Tuesday. But I'll probably get to the rest of it sometime throughout the week, and I'll talk about it next Tuesday, a week from Tuesday, when I do my reviews. And then the other big announcement this week is the beginning of the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. That's March 18th. So we get Justice League on Tuesday, Falcon and Winter Soldier on Wednesday. This is 6 episodes. They haven't fully said how long each episode is going to be. Originally, everyone thought it was going to be an hour per episode. Kevin Feige said just at the end of last week that we need to temper our expectations a little bit. Some episodes might be an hour, some episodes might be less. It really depends more on the story that's being told. I don't really disagree with that. I don't think everything needs to be an hour. I don't think there needs to be one standard for every show or every movie or anything like that. It needs to fit the story and the narrative and the plot. However, for 6 episodes, I hope they're all pretty long. I don't want a 20-minute or a 30-minute episode for 6 episodes and be done with it. I'd like a little bit more. It looks to me, again, I'm trying to avoid a lot of the announcements and pictures and images. I kind of just want to go into the shows as blank as possible and just let the show kind of get me. I do think that this show is probably going to be a little bit more action-packed than WandaVision. timeline wise, this show is going to take place the same time as WandaVision, so I don't think there's going to be a lot of intersecting. Maybe it's just some hints here and there about Falcon and Winter Soldier catching maybe news announcements of something going on in a town in Jersey, and that's really it. I am working on a deep dive into the Falcon and Winter Soldier. I want to have it out before the show airs on Wednesday. I've been working on it. I promise. I keep trying to get, I keep promising it's going to come out. It will come out. I just need to finish up the final details of it, and I'll release it. And then the goal is to essentially do a MCU prep part for every new thing coming out. So this way, for anyone who's not fully aware of some of the characters coming and some of the storylines that we might be seeing, I'll have a quick synopsis for you, something that's not too long, easy to understand, to kind of bring you up to speed. For anyone maybe who's jumping into the MCU in Phase 4, I'll give you a good breakdown of everything. So that's really it. There wasn't a lot of other announcements. So, Sunday is always about the news and announcements for the week. That's everything that kind of was announced. On Tuesday, I will be talking about a bunch of stuff. To be honest, I have a bunch of reviews. The next James Bond movie, I'll be talking about. If I see any of the Justice League, I'll give a quick synopsis of that. I also watched, a few movies this weekend that I'll talk about. And then, Superman and Lois I'll talk about. I'll talk about The Flash and just kind of catch up on some of the shows that I've missed out on so far. This is a short show. I'm sorry. There was really nothing to talk about this weekend, honestly. So otherwise, I'll see everybody on Tuesday. Make sure you check out everyone else in the Generational Gaming and Entertainment Network, Scythe X, The Captain, and One Shot. They're just gaming a lot of Call of Duty. I know Scythe X has been on a retro kick lately. He's kind of making my little retro itch go off, so I might be jumping on and playing something. He made it to the Indian fighter in Punch-Out. I can't remember his name now. Tiger something, I think. So I'm going to have to, try my hand at Punch-Out again and see if I can pass that and, hopefully just to kind of teach Scythe X how to get through that game. So that's it. I'll see everybody on Tuesday. Thanks for jumping in if you jumped in, and we'll see you next time.